Hey, what's good? You know the vibes. This is Jason Morello, DJ Loudmouth here, Who's Next NYC Radio. Wednesday night, February 5th, 2025. And live in the studio, we got a mayoral candidate in the building, and also a very outspoken one as well. Joining us right now, live on the air, on WPAT New York 930, is the Honorable Gonzalo Duran. How you doing, Gonzalo?
I'm good. I'm doing good. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. You guys have had me here quite a bit, and I appreciate you guys following me and what I'm doing.
Definitely. We've been following you for a while. Been working with you past several years to help build up the Conservative Party, not only in the Bronx but in Manhattan. Been a part of your previous campaigns for City Council and Congress, and you had a very successful run being runner-up against Richie Torres last year. You got over 36,000 votes, and that's a huge thing to get. Just going against, just making the ballot is hard, but to actually be in the race and be there to the end and have a big turnout of over 36,000 of your constituents, fellow residents, even people that didn't know you, but they voted for you. So that's a big accomplishment, so I want to congratulate you on that. And now, since then, you announced your run for mayor for New York City, and you're seeking the support from the New Yorkers out there and everything. So tell us more about it.
Well, like I said, I'm running for mayor of New York City. I'm seeking the conservative line, and it's been a progressional thing in the last couple of years. Running for city council, Congress, and now this. I have a more, a framework of what you need to run. When you're first running, it's not an easy thing. So I encourage everybody to take the steps to get there, and when you are there, don't be afraid of the opportunity.
Definitely, and you came a long way. After 9/11 and everything, you went and joined the military. You wound up becoming a Marine, a decorated Marine, a combat veteran. You served our country. You fought for us in the war on terror. The same people that knocked down the buildings right down a few blocks from here, Twin Towers and everything. You a decorated Marine and the whole thing. And now you're just continuing that fight, but throughout our communities, politically, you're still fighting for New Yorkers and Americans.
So for the viewers that may not know, besides being a former Marine Sergeant, Iraq veteran, I'm currently the CEO of Double Dog USA Incorporated, which is a veteran nonprofit, which I've done work all over New York City, and I've reached some level of national attention, also local attention, and the work that I'm doing there, I've touched every demographic that New York City has to offer. I'm a chaplain, I do a talk show host, I'm a journalist as well, and on my spare time, I mentor at-risk teens. So, it's a pretty well-rounded background that I have. In most Republicans and conservatives in New York City, they lack legislative background. So, most of, the Democrats have reigned, let's say in the Bronx for over 20 years. Before Christy Marmorato, 2 years ago, there was no other non-Democrat in over 20 years. And so it's been, and then it was only one person. So the whole 4 years, it's only been like one person, I think. So when we're running for office right now, we have to go based off of our character, our work in the community, and things that are surrounding us, because we don't have that legislative background. The Democrats aren't trying to put Jason Murillo as assistant to the councilman or assemblyman or anything like that. They're trying to get their own people there, and we're trying to grow that so we can get into those opportunities. So.
Cool.
You got any questions? Go ahead. And this is Vero G, by the way.
Oh, hello.
You can follow her on the gram, official Vero G, Verog. For those that don't know, I'm DJ Loudmouth, your baby mama's favorite DJ, and your baby mama's favorite city councilman. And you follow me on the gram, DJ Loudmouth Official, or Jason Morello for NYC, and on X, Jason Morello NY. There you go, and of course our radio station, Instagram, that's I believe official Who's Next NYC, or our website WhosNextNYCRadio.com. And Gonzalo, where they can find you.
Oh, if anybody was trying to reach me, you can check out my website at Gonzalo Duran NYC, and on social media at Gonzalo Duran NYC.
All right, so go ahead, Vero G.
Thank you. By the way, do you owe any child support?
Wow.
Can you say every favorite baby mama? Oh, we call that? What's it? Favorite?
Yeah, baby mama.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, do you owe any child support?
Not that I know of.
Okay, just throwing in there.
They'll come after you, man. They'll come
Wow,
after you.
you're coming at. Wow, you're really coming at.
Not just her, but the government's gonna come after her.
We have to change your logo now.
No Diddy.
Whoa. No,
Well, it's an expression, because a lot of baby mamas dig me. So, it is what it is. Just like they dig Gonzalo Duran. He's a papi chulo as well.
Look, I'm still single, ladies, just to be clear. This chubby cute face, is still available, so.
No wackos. Okay, just saying.
All right, let's get serious.
All right. So, on the topic, so Gonzalo Duran, we know you I know you for more years. It's always been an honor to be in your presence, also see the growth of you as in the politics world.
Yeah.
Definitely. So I want to talk more about now your campaign and you're running for mayor. Let's talk more about that if the listeners are tuning in. Now, again, what would they choose you? What will you make difference in the policies, especially in New York City? There's a lot of things happening. The safety of the trains, the rise of eggs now. I mean, everything's going up. So
you've had other candidates for mayor and other candidates for different offices, and a lot of them, everybody has the same kind of elevator speech. I'm either gonna back or not back the police. I'm gonna make affordable housing, et cetera, et cetera. But I think there's one little small thing that everybody brings to the table that's different, that differentiates us. And for me specifically, what I go for is the regulations of a lot of things. So let's say when we talk about affordable housing, one thing that I don't think people really go after is trying to change the AMI policy. Mm-hmm. So for those that don't know what the AMI, the average medium income, NYCHA, or sorry, not NYCHA, but HUD dictates, a calculation using AMI and, their other stuff. And they say this is going to be the step price for, let's say, the average person and what they can afford for their housing. So then now everybody follows that. One problem that I have is that AMI that we use for New York City covers also Rockland County, Westchester, and other places. So let's say for the average Bronxite, right? Somebody living from the Bronx, maybe the average is like 45,000 or something like that. And then the AMI says 84 because they're taking numbers from outside our area. Mm-hmm. And then New York City's AMI is like 120. How many people making $120,000?
Not that we know of. No. We all struggling.
In our circles, we're struggling. I'm an average person, and I'm trying to make these changes so that we can help the individuals that are out there. I want safer streets, and some of the things that you're talking about, it's outside of a city, a mayor or a city official, but it doesn't mean that we can't put pressure on things. I don't remember everything you said, but I'm just going to throw an example. The Governor Hochul making the congestion pricing, a mayor cannot change that, but what we can do is put a pressure on the mayor because it's in our city. It's our residents that are affected by that. So,
Okay, cool. And what is your point of the inflation right now? Everything, the prices going from gas to food.
So once again,
a bacon, egg, and cheese. Yeah. It's like $10 now, $12?
I'd rather get a farm and just make eggs and that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, in the end of the day, once again, inflation is not something a mayor can has too much control of. But what we can do is we can try to find ways to ease our the constituents that are out there. But if we don't have things in place, then it's not going to make any changes. So. The mayor of New York City wields a lot of power, so much so that normally if you're a mayor of the city, you can probably go to a higher office than most people would in a different situation. So how do I feel about it? I'm not crazy about it. The things that Trump has done, I believe, will eventually even out and help us have those lower prices. But before we get there, I believe he's making these big moves and these dramatic stuff because he's trying to lower the let's say the immigration population.
Yeah.
He's trying to tell the other countries stop taking advantage of us. He's trying to say we're not sending money to everybody, and all those together brings our wasteful and hopefully bring the inflation lower in these things. It's unfortunate. Let's say somebody from New York City, sandwich spot, right? They can't increase the price too much of the bacon, egg, and cheese because then nobody's going to want to go get it. So there's people that are going at a loss because of it. So, these are things that we have to do. Now, we all individuals have to make our own decisions on what we're going to do as well. For somebody like me, I make a certain amount of money, and some people, they're like, "Oh, you're living pretty good." I'm like, "No, I'm an average guy, but I'm living okay because I don't have the internet at home. I don't watch television. I don't party at night. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do a lot of things.
And you save money like that.
And
so awesome.
I save money. I gave up my car last year so I can have more of an increase in being more comfortable. I go on a trip once a year. I go to the movies on a regular basis. That's my outlet right there. And I'm dressed in a regular stuff. I'm not, I'm trying to hype myself up or trying to sound like somebody that I should be. I'm working for the people. I am one of the people. I want to better you guys, and I can only do that if I'm put into that position.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. All right. So I also want to ask you about one on the same topic. What is your situation? As you know, it's a lot of changes happening since Trump has come into office. What is your policy with the immigration situation?
Okay, so when it comes in a lot of his policies, well, first of all, I think he overreaches for a reason. I think he overreaches because he expects to get pushback, and as he does that, we even out a little bit, like real estate. He's made these type of. I think he got in trouble for one of these things, right? He says the building costs this much, but the bank is going to give you this much, and then you got like some kind of percentage right there. There's no difference. You say you're going to kick out all immigrants, and then the Democrats come out and they say this, and you work and you make negotiations, and that's that's politics. It's not the way I want it to be, and too much I like it, but that's the way it is.
Well, just quickly to add to that. People want to go after President Trump for deporting illegal migrants, but let's not kid ourselves. President Obama was the deporter in chief. He deported over 5.5 million illegal migrants in his term in office. So
you can pick and choose which one you want to talk about. At the end of the day, migrants have been deported by every president in every election and every year.
And every country does this.
Yeah. And every country does it as well. When it comes to our situation, for New York City, as if I were to win mayor, I think it would be a good thing because now he's narrowing that gap and lowering the budget. At some point, you have to say, I think I've heard you say, no mas. No mas.
Yeah.
You have to say, or we have to put a cork in it to say, let's fix our problem. Let's our budget is billions of dollars going to assist the migrants. Now, I'm not saying we can't help. What I'm saying is we reached the point where it's getting pretty bad out there, where our budget is tight, the subways are full, the shelters are full. The average person is suffering. At some point, we have to say, well, let's calm it down. So him putting the strengthening the borders makes it so that we can start making some adjustments, maybe some breathing room for stuff going on. I think, as New York is a sanctuary city, we were founded, on immigration. So, saying that you're going to deport everybody, no, that's not realistic, and I don't think it's feasible. Is deporting individuals that are doing criminal crimes? Yes, I don't think. I think the general population think that makes sense. So I look forward to try to work with the population that we have now.
Yes.
What we can make the changes, how can we reduce the budget on these situations, and then see where we can go from there. That's my goal if I were to win.
That's amazing. amazing, definitely. There's another one I want to talk briefly. Now, as you see, we talking about the rates. Everything's going up, and it's astronomical right now. As being a New Yorker, you know the rents go extremely high. Just sometimes we can't even afford it month to month basis. Now, as you running for mayor, and you know when you get that seat, my question to you is this: what change do you make for, let's say, there was low income families, and there's people out there that are just getting by with their checks? How are you able to promise them, or not even promise, to get programs that will be benefiting for them to able to afford rent?
So once again, these topics that you're hitting, these are multifaceted problems. You can't just fix it by saying,
Right.
let me do this or let me do that. Obviously, we need to build more affordable housing. That's one. Two, we need to make sure that we're not filling it up with just one certain group. You know, you've had conversations and DJ Loudmouth as well, saying that you guys are seeing immigrants get in front of the line out of people that have been waiting for years that need it. Your mom was one of the individuals at the time, God bless her soul. You know, she was waiting years, like 2 years.
Over 2 years.
Yeah, over 2 years for housing when there was available, but nobody wanted to give her, people were putting people in over that. When it comes to the housing, once again, the AMI that I talked about, we have to change it. I think that would help make that the monetary part very reasonable. But once again, that's a HUD situation. That's a federal level. That's not the city. But we have to put that in there. We have to push and say we want these changes. Affordability, that it also comes to both sides of the people. When one of the scenarios right now, look, let's say you have a house. Now, you as an owner can either rent it out for $1,000, or you can sell it to a developer. He'll knock it down and build a skyscraper or whatever, and then he'll charge $2,000 for the same amount. Maybe you're paying $1,000 or $1,200. Let's just say that, right?
Yeah.
Which one would you do? Most people want that multi-million-dollar deal. So we have to be able to start changing our perspective, us as individually and those out there. Another thing that I want to do with affordability, when we give these developers tax breaks, they have to give a certain amount of percentage for these housing affordability. Why is it has to stop at 30? Why can't it be 40, 50, 60? They're getting the tax break, so we should be the ruling, negotiator on those situations. There's other things that we need to do, but the only problem that I have right now with City of Yes, and that's a long conversation right there with all the things that's touching. But let's say for City of Yes, one of the things that I'm against that, and the reason why is because I believe it will destroy the single-family housing market in New York City. We won't have it in 5 years. So somebody that has a house right now in the city has been approved. They can have dwellings in the back, on the basement. They can make a one-family house into a 2 or 3. They'll switch it up. So now you have people that are just going to buy the house, rent it out to a bunch of people, right? Where is this incentive for your son to stay in the Bronx and work his life to try to buy the white picket fence? It's not going to be there anymore.
It's hard. Yeah, it is.
So.
All right, well, we're going to wrap up this interview here, this segment here. So one more time, give your social media, your website, and everything where people can find you.
Yes, everyone, my name is Gonzalo Duran. I'm running for mayor of New York City. I'm seeking the Conservative Party line. If you're trying to check me out, check out my website at Gonzalo Duran NYC. If you're trying to get to know me better, feel free to check out my social media accounts at Gonzalo Duran NYC. Thank you.
All right, there you go. Gonzalo Duran, running for mayor, New York City Mayoral candidate. We'll be back after these messages.